Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Today is a very short meditation practice, so the position isn't all that important. Really, you just want to find something comfortable and in a place where you don't feel like you're going to fall asleep. Just find what works for you. And as always, we keep our eyes open during this practice. But of course, if you feel more comfortable practicing with your eyes closed, feel free to do so. There are no hindrances here. But if your eyes are open, leave the screen alone and drop your gaze down below you, kind of glancing at the floor or the desk or whatever's just below you. We're not staring or analyzing anything. We're also not zoned out and blurry. We just have a gentle, clear gaze directed softly and gently downwards. You're in a nice, comfortable seated position, and your eyes are either closed or open, looking down. Just settle here, here and now. When else can you settle? Let go of your day so far, all the things you've done and all the things on the to-do list. Just leave them alone. Just center your attention or your intention here and now. And not for any particular purpose. In fact, go ahead and just let go of the idea of meditation altogether. Forget this special idea of practicing meditation. Instead, regard what we're doing here kind of like sitting on the side of a seashore, listening to the waves, and just enjoying them. We're just enjoying this moment. That's all. There's nowhere to go, nothing to do, and there's no one to become. So just be here now and completely rest. And I'm probably catching you thinking right now, lost in some thought, probably about the future or the past. But it's interesting, isn't it? When does this thought happen? Or rather, when do thoughts happen? Do they happen tomorrow? Are they happening in the past? Notice how each thought you have, say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not good enough. I'm so tired. My back hurts. Notice how these thoughts arise here and now. So for the next few half a minute or so, let's actually wait for the next thought to arise and just notice as it arises how it happens now. Don't follow the thought and its contents. Simply see your thought as thinking and notice that it happens right here. And you might find this a little difficult because you get caught up in thinking. It kind of captures your attention and you lose this moment and you can't see thoughts arising now. But there might be some thoughts you can see just arising here and now. Let's wait for another one. If you are noticing your thought as a thought, this is a wonderful skill because you are no longer being captured by that thought and you have now stepped outside of it and noticing your mind as it is here and now. This is the doorway to truly enjoying this moment as it is. Being here now doesn't mean pay attention to this moment. Being here now means see your thoughts as thoughts and leave them alone. And when we notice that we're lost thinking about something, step back. Notice it as a thought. And then rest here and now. The only time, the only place your life is. So rest. Enjoy it. All right, you can look at the screen. There was this, I bring up this guy a lot. You might know him, especially if you're looking at this video, you probably have heard the name of Alan Watts. He was a philosopher, if you can call him one, who really brought Eastern ideas into a Western context back in the 50s and 60s and early 70s. He was like the foremost guy on Zen and Buddhism. He really, him, Christmas Humphreys, and I can't think right now, a lot of people. And encountering him is really what brought me to this practice. Unless I started listening to his ideas of the Eastern ideas, I would never have began meditation. And there were a couple of things that really, I guess you could say, had such an impact when I heard them that I immediately sought practice. I sought this practice. One of them, which isn't related to what I want to talk about, but one of them, he says, you didn't come into this world. Most of us feel that we came into this world, but you didn't. You came out of it, like a rose from a rose bush comes out of the bush. You are just as much this world as the world itself. You're not something that came into it. You are it. Beautiful. That was like, wow. But more to the point here, the other thing he said was this little analogy, this little kind of explanation of our life, which is this seeking future attitude. He says, don't you remember when you go to school, when you get into first grade? And the idea, of course, in first grade is to work really hard so you can get to the second grade and go up and up and up, and the good thing is always coming. So then you work really hard and you get into middle school, and they still got something going on you. They tell you if you work hard, you do good grades, you can get even higher up in the grade system, maybe an honor roll system, and you move up and you move up. And the goodie is always coming. It's always happening. Sometime in the future, you just got to work hard to get it. And you get through grade school, you get through high school, then you get into college, and the same thing still exists. You get a little more freedom, but they still tell you, well, get good grades, you get into this program, do this kind of research, work harder, and you'll get the goodie. It's coming. And then you graduate college, you get into the real world, you get a job. And in this job, same thing. What are you doing? Quotas. Bigger, bigger, getting there, future. The big thing is coming. You get a house, you get a family, but then you're still seeking. And then he says I guess back then it was 45 years old, when you're in the middle of life, you sit back and realize, I've arrived. And yet I feel exactly as I always have. And Alan Watts says, it's because you've been fooled. Because you were always seeking a life that wasn't this moment. Because when we got the things of our desire, we didn't actually enjoy them because we were just thinking of another thing to get to. You can't live it all unless you can live fully now. So enjoy it. Thank you for showing up today. And as always, and without exception, I'll see you tomorrow.